everybody, and welcome back to yet another cracking edition of the Matt Brown Show. This is the Secrets of Fail series, where we are talking to successful CEOs and entrepreneurs all about their epic business failures and everything they learned in the process of experiencing them. And with us in the hot seat today is none other than Mitch Rice. He is the CEO of the Commercial Capital Company. Mitchell, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks, Matt.
Cool, brother. So look, let's get into the elevator pitch. What exactly are you guys up to over there at the Commercial Capital Company?
So we're a family-owned equipment finance company. We're out of Kansas City. We provide financing for all types of equipment for all types of businesses, everything from agricultural to construction, office equipment, you name it. So we've been around 40 plus years. My father founded the company. I've been here 22 years now, and yeah, we've been growing pretty rapidly the last couple of years. It's been a fun ride.
So who are your clients typically?
So our typical client, we've got kind of two types of clients. One is a vendor that sells a certain type of asset that usually is financed. So say forklifts. So we partner with the people that might sell forklifts or construction equipment, trucks, trailers, you name it. And we are basically their finance department, where we offer the finance options on their product for their customers. So then on the other hand, we have all the customers that we finance. Those are our clients too, that we service.
Very, very cool. And congrats on a business that's been around for 45 years. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah,
cool, bad. So look, let's get into the meat and the potatoes of this episode. What is your epic story of fail for our audience around the world today, Mitch?
Well, as every other entrepreneur knows, and anybody that's running a business, there's countless. Some are more impactful than others, and you know, ours is a no-brainer. 2008, when that recession hit in 2008, that pretty much had us on the ropes. I mean, it was rough. I mean, we had a lot of bank obligations. We had a big portfolio of our leases that our customers couldn't fulfill. We had equipment all across the United States that we were repossessing, remarketing. I mean, it was a very difficult time for sure.
Yeah, I can imagine, right? No
Yeah.
one's borrowing, no one's paying. It's like
Yeah.
that's your whole
Yeah.
business,
That
dude.
was it was kind of a double whammy. No one was borrowing anything. So we really had limited revenue, and tremendous amount of expense. So it was a tough one.
Nasty. So what actually transpired? I mean, how do you survive an epic crisis like that?
Well, I mean, I would say, we had to get pretty creative. We had to first of all, we had to manage our bank relationships. We had to hit it head on. That was the only way. I mean, we had to communicate daily with our bank partners just to keep them at bay, and then simultaneously, it was all hands on deck, sending things out for repo, tracking our equipment. We had just locating half the stuff, because I mean, we had a tremendous amount of people just walk away from their businesses because they had failed. We'd get calls daily with equipment that was scattered throughout the United States, and just trying to stay sane handling that. But man, yeah, I would say communicating was the biggest thing with our banks. That's the only thing that really kept them from probably foreclosing on our portfolio and trying to handle it all themselves. We had their trust, because we were 100% upfront and honest with them, and worked it, and they knew it, and they didn't want to step in and do it. So they figured we were their best bet to handle it and collect it and repo it, resell it, move on.
Mm-hmm. So when you think about that whole 2008 period, Mitchell, what stands out for you as a kind of a key lesson that you now take forward with you in your business today?
Right. So I'd say transparency, especially with your bank. I mean, we right now I consider our bank partners they're our advisors almost. I mean, we lean on them for advice. They know the good, the bad, the ugly, and I think it makes everybody more comfortable, because I know every business has issues, and if you discuss them openly with your partners, whether that's your banks or anybody, uh, there's a confidence they have when you address them. You know it, you're aware of it. Uh, but yeah, hitting your problems head on. That was the biggest thing, and it was hard for me. My father, who founded Commercial Capital, that was probably the biggest thing I've learned from him. Was he was aggressive in working out the problems where I probably I don't know how I would have responded if it was me 100% in the hot seat at that time, but he hit it head on. I mean, we did what we had to do, and that was it. Would have been easy to avoid some things, or not have some tough conversations, but we did it. We did what we had to do.
Mm. My dad once said to me, he said, "You can tell the success of a man, or the success of a man is directly proportionate to the amount of difficult conversations he's had in his life."
Yep, that's a fact.
It's true, right? I mean,
100%. Yes.
and I think to your point, I think banks want to recover their assets, right? And
Yep.
when things are going south, they're looking for people who are going, okay, we want to help you to resolve this issue. You can trust us. And what I'm hearing is, and what my sense is that when you come out the other side, the strength of that banking relationship is way, way, way improved than it was prior
Oh,
to, the event itself.
yeah, yeah, one for sure. I mean, even today, that we still work with pretty much every bank that we went through the fire with. So now we really have their trust.
Mm.
Um, we really have their trust. So that's been good for me, especially now as we've really started to grow the last couple years, and having their trust now, especially going into an unknown economic situation. The next year could have a recession. Things could get tight. Banks, we all know banking right now is a little a little problematic. So
Tell me about it.
right.
So Mitch, if you could get into the Matt Brown Show time machine and kind of go back to yourself, in 2008 when all the
Right.
proverbial shit was hitting the fan,
Uh-huh.
what would you do differently and why?
That's an easy one. So in like the lead up to 2008, everything was, I mean, it was relatively easy. Like there was just money was loose. Loans were easy to get. I mean, we saw it with the mortgage um, meltdown, right? I mean, you could get a mortgage even if you didn't deserve it. So it was a similar situation with us, where we had a portfolio of borrowers that weren't credit worthy, that might have had a little money down. And going back, I would love to tell myself, hey, you know what you're good at, focus on that, do as much of that as you can. You don't need to worry about all the other stuff. So if we could have just gone back and just focused on, our small ticket equipment finance deals in the Midwest, uh, we would have been much better off. But we got away from what we did best because it was easy. I think probably greed came in. Greed factored into the equation because, uh, like I said, it was kind of easy money for a while, and nothing's really easy. If it's too easy, something's gonna give, right? And it gave.
This is so true, brother. It's so
Yeah.
true. So, Mitch, what's your advice to other CEOs in terms of, the importance of failing or failure in becoming successful as a leader and as a business?
Right. So, like I said, focusing on what you do best and just being laser focused on that, and how can you do more of that. But back to what you were saying, I mean, like I think there's purpose on all of our pain, whether that's personally or professionally. I mean, there's always good things that come out of it. Like looking back, I wouldn't take it back. I wouldn't take back what we went through in '08. Like I said, it has really strengthened the bonds with our banking relationships where, I mean, that they're now it's, we're the largest customer at a lot of the banks that we were on the short list for back then. So, hitting your problems head on, that, like I said, that was the lesson I learned from all of that. I think Ed, a mentor of mine, Ed Milet, he said, I think he said, a flawed plan executed with certainty and a lot of action is much better than a perfect plan executed with limited action. So just make up your mind and do it.
Get after it, basically.
Yes.
Yeah. Mitchell, what about books, tools, and resources that you recommend?
Books right now, I'm reading Profit First. I think that's a good read for any business owner. That's my go-to right now.
Yeah, I've had Mike Mikhailovich on my show.
Oh, have you? Okay.
That book. Yeah. He's been on the show a couple times. Got a wasp in the studio. Holy shit! I'm like, what is that thing on my neck? That's no good, dude.
No, that's not good.
That's never a good way to conduct a podcast.
No, man, that's
like
that's
screaming in pain in a minute. Where do they come from? Anyway, that's a fail.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's
so that,
hilarious.
and also I would say, surround yourself with as many like-minded people as you can. If you're really looking to grow your business, surround yourself with people that have done it, that are on the same journey as you, that think the same. Because that energy, you can really feed off their energy, and that's really what I've tried to do the last couple of years.
Yeah, there's another saying: if you hang outside a barbershop long enough, pretty soon you're going to get a haircut.
Yeah, right. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Well, look, Mitch, thanks so much for being on the series, brother. Appreciate you. And any business that survives 2008 is the kind of business that's going to be around in 2080.
Yep.
Because that was
right.
if you can survive those times, you can survive pretty much anything.
Yep. I feel you on that. Yes.
Awesome stuff.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks again, brother.
Appreciate
Everybody
it.
else, we'll see you again soon. Ciao.
Got it.